coffee is a very personal experience. So it depends on your mood. It depends on what you feel like at that moment. Coffee experience is one that you enjoy the way you like it, actually. And that's the beauty of coffee, is you can really make it the way you feel like at that time. So you can have a brewed coffee when you want something cold and more robust. You can have an espresso shot if you want something quick on the go. If you want to share coffee amongst a lot of friends, you can prepare a pour over. So it's really about your personal preference and the way that you want to make it. So coffee starts on a tree. It starts as a coffee berry, which is green. After several months, this coffee berry gets bigger and bigger, and then it starts to ripen into a cherry. So you can like literally see it go from green to red. When it's red, and you see it as a cherry, it's ready to get picked. Ideally, you would pick only the red ones to get the most ripe fruit. Kind of like with any fruit, you want to get the ripest, most delicious ones. After you pick the coffee, they have different ways to process it. Wet process, dry process, wash process. I'll talk more specifically about here in Cavite. We do the dry process. So you pick the coffee and then you lay it out to dry, either on a raised bed, or a lot of farmers will put it on the cement or a tarp on the ground. After it's dried, it turns brown, and then you can identify if it's dry enough. If you grab it in your hand and you shake it, and it sounds like a caracas, you can feel the beans literally shaking in your hand. And when that happens, you know that it's ready to get milled. Milling is basically taking off the husk. It's basically dehusking it. You're running it through a mill with blades that helps you extract the green beans inside. When you get the green beans, usually from the farm, there's some impurities there, some rocks, some sticks, some stones. So what we do is we handpick everything. One woman can handpick probably 60 kilos within a day. So it really does take a lot of time. Then after you handpick it, you take out the impurities. We further stiff the coffee to size it. So we get the larger sizes, which go for the more premium blends, and the smaller ones we set aside. And then it's ready for roasting. So we put it in the roaster. Here at our place, like one batch is usually like 12 to 15 minutes. And then you're all set. You can have your whole bean coffee, or the next step would be to use a grinder and then make an espresso shot or a brewed coffee. With ground coffee, the molecular walls of the beans have already been cracked open. So with whole bean coffee, the outer shell and the molecular structure has been crushed, and that releases all of the fragrance and aroma. That's when it comes out. So having it whole beans allows you to preserve that longer. You really have to put it in a cool, dry place. So if it's still in the pack, don't put it in direct sunlight. Don't put it in a hot place. Usually if your kitchen, just put it in the cupboard. If you open it, I would suggest to transfer it to an airtight container. You know, some of the new packaging these days, it has resealable tin ties or resealable tape or zip top, but nothing can beat an airtight container, which you can really seal. Some people like to put it in the fridge also, that's fine. Well, the grinder is essential. It's a critical part of the coffee brewing process, because with the wrong grind, you would extract the coffee differently. So each coffee process requires a different grind. Espresso is a very fine grind. It's a fast extraction going through the portafilter. It needs a very condensed pack grind, so you can tap it properly and have proper extraction. On the other side of the spectrum, you have a coffee press, where you need a coarse grind. You need a coarse grind because it's a slower brewing method. It's an immersion process, so the grounds are immersed with the hot water to brew the coffee, and so you need more surface area to extract the coffee properly. So it just really depends on the type of coffee you make to match the grind. The type of grinder is very important because of the blades, the settings. The thing I like about this Breville smart grinder is it's very easy to set. It's digital. It shows you with the icon for espresso all the way to a plunger. I think it has like 60 settings, so it's very easy also for a novice coffee or someone new to coffee to make good quality coffee if you have the right equipment. The settings are easy to do. It's also a burr grinder, so it has a very uniform grind. So it's not just like setting it right, but you can set it right and the machine will do the rest for you. So yes, the grinder is very important to make coffee. So like I mentioned earlier, depending on the brew method, you'd want to match the grind to the brew method. So of course for a drip or pour over or French press, and then fine for a espresso. So we have a lot of ground coffee in the supermarket, which is packed and sealed with a packaging with one-way valves. We put there 1 year for the expiry. It's actually safe to consume beyond that, but we would suggest that you consume it maybe within 3 months. So us as a roaster with our own distribution, we're the ones who put it in the market ourselves. Also, we distribute it. Our goal is to get it the soonest and the fastest turnover in the market. So long story short, the answer is as soon as possible. You want to get fresh coffee. We clearly mark the expiration date, so try to get the freshest. Well, the important factors for the coffee experience are, well, first the coffee. So choose a coffee that you love. There's many origins, many blends out there, many types. Choose the one you love, and it's the ingredients, right? So make sure you're using clean water. Coffee is like more than 90% water, so you make sure that you have good water. And then the equipment, you make sure that you have good equipment that can extract the coffee well, that can grind the coffee well. And lastly is, well, the proportion. You can have like the right grind, but if you put too much coffee, it would be, it won't have the right taste. But I guess at the end of the day, it depends on you. Maybe you want to have it stronger today and lighter in the afternoon. It's really, the proportion is up to you. I think the last step is the human side to it is whatever machine you have, it's just a machine. It's how you handle it. So you can practice on that machine, learn how to get different flavors by setting it in a different way. And that's the nice thing with the modern machines. There's a lot of different settings, a lot of places you can fine tune. So I'd say those are the main things, the coffee, the water, the grind proportion, the machine, and then your skill as a home barista, as your own personal coffee maker. Hi, I'm Mike Asuncion, owner of Silca Coffee Roasting Company and proud partner of Breville, Philippines. We freshly roast our Silca-fed Kickstart coffee right here in Silca, Cavite. If you want to know more, visit our website here or check us out on Facebook.